Like you have worked with high-profile teams like Punjab Kings or Multan Sultans. So, what's the difference between the standards of cricket, both of them have?
The IPL is phenomenal. It's like the levels. It's a game of levels,
Yeah.
right? And that is the top level. These guys are so good. Yeah.
What strike that you have to go into this power rating zone?
First time I did it was in basically 2015, and to work with England, the national side where I was born, and their white ball cricket was pretty average in 2015. I sort of started it, which I did, and I came back and used the phrase power hitting, and I changed the language. The language that I used in coaching changed.
So, what are the existing players or the upcoming players which you think are following that T20 game now? Because T20 is more than just like hitting the ball; it's more like a baseball style game, or like is a method.
Prab Singh, he only played one game when I was there, but I picked him out to be one for the future, and he's had a couple of really good seasons.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sports Chat. And today we have got a big player here. We have got Julian Wood, who is power batting guru, I would say. A lot of people know about him. He has worked in the IPL, he has worked in the PSL, he has also worked in the BPL. So everybody knows who Julian Wood is. And today we are going to have a chat with him here at Blaze Cricket, as you can see that. And he is here for training the kids on how to hit the ball perfectly to go out of the ground. So we are going to have a quick chat with him today and pick his brains. How does the IPL and the trainings and everything go when it comes to hitting the ball out of the ground? So, hi, Julian, and
Oh God, thank you for having me.
so I want to start, like, you have been in cricket picture for a lot of time. So, is there any moments which you can remember, like very great moments, if you can tell us about?
Obviously, when I started doing the power hitting concept, so to speak, first time I did it was in basically 2015, and to work with England, the national side where I was born. I didn't play for England, but I played professional cricket in England. So, and their white ball cricket was pretty average in 2015. I did some work before the Champions Trophy. It made me realise that they had to change the way they did things. They had to change the personnel that were in that were playing. They were playing Test cricketers, who were playing white ball cricket, and that's now changed. So to be a part of that transformation, a small part of that transformation in English cricket, makes me very proud, to be honest. So yeah, I would say the things that stand out for me was working with England, IPL. I worked with Punjab Kings. The IPL is the biggest there is. I think it's bigger than international cricket. You know, the standard is phenomenal. And now I just travel around. So anything I do, I feel very blessed in what I do. But it's amazing where just hitting the ball hard has taken me around the world to do this. So it's quite cool, really.
So, how did you exactly come into power hitting? Because you have played in England, you have played first class cricket as well.
Yeah.
What strike that you have to go into this power hitting zone?
Well, I think I saw where the game was going. Before most other people. I think I started doing stuff 2014. I started writing stuff down. I spent a lot of time in the States with Texas Rangers, the baseball, Major League Baseball side. And I just started looking at how they hit a ball. They were built differently. They're bigger, stronger, and they hit the ball very, very hard. Cricket has always been very hand dominant. So you time the ball. The grip is tailored for rolling the wrists, keeping the ball down, head over the ball. And then T20 came along, and then suddenly it was more of an emphasis on boundaries. It was a bit of fun to start with, hit and giggle. But then people realised, you know what, that's where the money is. You know, big money now. These guys get paid a serious amount of money. So I think I saw where the game was going. I started putting stuff together, and I liken it to, it's like Coca-Cola. You know, you have cola. You have Pepsi. But you always go back to Coca-Cola. So I sort of started it, which I did. And I came back and used the phrase power hitting, and I changed the language. The language that I used in coaching changed. And then people sort of got onto that. And then, so to set that tone, again, makes me feel very proud in what I've done. Very cool. So yeah, that's basically how it started, really.
And you have worked with high profile teams like Punjab Kings or Multan Sultans. So you were in Pakistan.
Yeah, I'm with them this PSL.
So, like, what's the difference between the standards of cricket, both of them?
The IPL is phenomenal. Like the levels, it's a game of levels, right? And that is the top level. These guys are so good. And to tell these young players who we're coaching, who I'm coaching today, they all want to be the next MS Dhoni. They all want to be the next Virat or Glenn Maxwell or whatever. But do you realize how good you actually have to be that good?
Yeah.
They are seriously good. In the IPL, you win games you shouldn't win, and you lose games you shouldn't lose. It's never ever. Nothing surprises me in the IPL because you think you're in a game and you suddenly lose it. You think you're going to lose a game and you suddenly win it. It's a fantastic experience, and that is, to me, that's the pinnacle. That's the best thing I've done to work in the IPL.
So, like when you were with Punjab Kings, you must have identified a lot of big hitters there. So, which hitter impressed you the most?
The guys who I've worked with before, so I want to say Liam Livingstone, Johnny Bairstow, played for England. So I work with them. So I've got a relationship with them. Coaching is about building a relationship with players. So Livingstone, he had a good IPL as well when I was there. He hits it seriously hard. Bairstow's very good. A good player. With the Indian guys, Prab Singh, he only played one game when I was there, but I picked him out to be one for the future, and he's had a couple of really good seasons. Obviously Shikhar Dhawan, and people like that. But it's different ways of doing it. We had Mayank Agarwal as well. He's a proper player. So it's like, there's different ways to do things. And I think, you can't cookie cut this. There's not one way of doing it because everybody's different. And it's how you get the best out of each and every player. That's what coaching's about.
Like, this brings me to the next question. Like, when you train an international player and when you train someone who is just playing like first-class cricket for now. So what's the difference of coaching method?
The guys are obviously very good. They're very good players. You don't tell them. You don't tell them anything because they know they're good players. What you can do is like, okay, take Liam Livingstone, for instance. So I've done a lot of work with Livingstone. He has two things. He's either his back leg collapses or his rhythm's out of sync. So, I don't go to him. He comes to me. If he's not feeling it, then he'll say, can you just look at this? Can you have a look at that? Then as you go down the levels, obviously you can make more difference. If I can make 1% difference to Liam Livingstone, then that's good. If I can make it 1% better, he'll always hit the ball hard. These guys, they're natural ball strikers. I won't make Liam Livingstone hit the ball hard because he hits it hard. But what I might be able to do is make him hit it harder for longer and be more consistent over a period of time. And in a competition, that's huge.
Blaze Spirit is hosting this one-on-one, the training, training. So, what would you expect from these kids to develop their skills?
Okay. So, what if again, like I said, it's about levels, right? So, Liam Livingstone, I might make 1% better. But some of these players, I can make 20% better. In a short period of time. So, what I look at to start with is how I can increase their power in their normal technique. Right? So everybody comes to me for one reason, to hit the ball harder. Wherever I go around the world, everybody comes to me for that. So, but to start with, when they're young, they have to be able to bat. You have to have a basic technique to be able to bat. So I look at their basic technique, how I can improve that by, it's little things really. Maybe they lift their hands slightly higher, get a bigger base, just getting their head to the ball a bit more. And it's amazing the difference you see. Small differences make big differences. You see, so it's not rocket science. It really isn't. But I've seen it. We've been here. This is the second session today, and I've seen a big difference in this to the first one. And it's always like that when you do sessions like this. The first session is always, they don't really know me. I don't know them. They need to understand me. I need to understand them. Once we get that, we're all singing off the same hymn sheet. Then you start to see big improvements, and I've seen that today definitely.
So, I want to also ask you, what the best advice you would want to give these players to build on, with the basic drills, they can do at home?
So you have to. The game is the game's evolving very quickly. Right, and it's a power game. But you have skill, you have touch, you have power. White ball cricket is basically hand-eye coordination, power, and skill. And you need everything. You need good hand-eye coordination. You need power. Some players are more powerful than others. The bigger guys will obviously hit the ball harder.
Yeah.
But the smaller guys rely heavily on rhythm, timing of movements. Once they get those, then they will hit the ball as hard as the bigger guys. Right? So, like I said, there's different ways of doing things. A big guy can stand there and not move, and he can miss-hit it, and it still goes to 6.
Yeah.
Whereas the little guy, if he miss-hits it, he's out.
Yeah.
So he has to be better than the bigger one, technically better.
So, like, cricket is also a mental sport. Like, you have to be mentally clear if you're hitting a 6 because it's a fraction of a second you have to choose. So, like, what do you recommend? Like, what should they, like, small players or like upcoming players should do in order to maintain their mental balance while they're hitting a 6?
Firstly, they've got to want to hit it hard.
Yeah.
You have to want to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it, you won't do it.
Yeah.
You have to want to do it. And secondly, it's the game's dictating it now. So it's sort of something you have to be able to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's different ways, skill and touch. If they haven't got big power, they can use skill. They can hit angles. You know, if you hit 2 every ball, that's 200 strike rate. You see? So, but what I say to them, I've said to them today in the last couple of days, every 4 you hit gives you 2 dots.
Yeah.
Every 6 you hit gives you 3 dots. So if you have the ability to do that, firstly, you could take the game deeper.
Yeah.
So you can take it deeper and deeper instead of just, and the more options you have, then there's less panic.
Yeah.
So if it's not just about standing there and whacking the ball, there's more to it than that because you're not going to hit every ball for 6. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
If you face 30 balls in a T20, how many 6s do you hit? 4 if you're flying.
Yeah.
You still got 26 balls to face. So you still have to bat. What I want to do is put them in a position where if you're not going to hit their best ball.
Yeah.
But if he makes a mistake, if the bowler makes a mistake, they're in a position where they can maximize that ball.
So if you get a 1-to-1 session, for example, with a kid who's building into cricket, he is doing immensely well in the grade cricket as well. So what would you look at him first? Like, what would you notice? How is he playing, or like, what's the technique?
Yeah. So I'd video him first. I'd have a look. We'd look at his normal setup. We'd look at his normal technique. And like I said, I would add power to his normal technique. I would add power with that. Once you've got that, then you can move into the hitting side. But it's like everything. You can't run before you can walk.
Yeah.
Right. So I would look at their basic setup, and they all get too closed off. Sometimes I've watched them here. They all get very closed off. They're very sideways on, and they all get too close to the ball. So you need space.
Yeah.
If you don't have space, your hands can accelerate through the ball. Yeah. If you don't have space, then they can't. So, but you get taught as a youngster, get your head to the ball, went close to the ball. But it's just weighing that up, getting that distance right to allow for their hands to go. Hands can then accelerate through the ball. So you need space. Secondly, mindset is massive. Like I said, they got to want to hit it hard and play fearless cricket. You're going to get out.
Yeah.
That's the game. It's just don't play with that fear that you're going to get out.
Yeah. And I would ask you the last question. So what are the existing players or the upcoming players which you think are following that T20 game now? Because T20 is more than just like hitting the ball. It's more like a baseball style game now. Like Jake is a McGurk. He hits the ball like a baseballer. So do you see any players like that who are coming up and you think they will be big?
I think Fraser McGurk's a great example of that. But he started off his IPL career fantastically.
Yeah.
Started off his career with Australia, great. Recently, though, he's played in the Caribbean, he struggled.
Yeah.
So he's got to figure it out because the pitches in the Caribbean are quite slow.
Yeah.
The pitches in IPL are good and the boundaries are small.
Yeah.
So he needs to, he's young as well, but his mindset is brilliant.
Yeah.
He's looking for two things. He's looking for 4s and 6s.
Yeah.
So in his first scoring shots in the IPL was 4-6, 4-4.
Yeah.
But he faced 18 balls to get that.
Yeah.
So he plays a lot of dots. He needs to learn to do other stuff as well, but he will do. He's a fantastic talent. Yeah. I think he sets up more like a baseball player, but you still have to bat. You know? And I think players now, they see a way, you don't need to play red ball cricket.
Yeah.
They can play. Will Smeed is playing, he's in England. Yep. He hasn't played for England. He's travelling around doing the franchises. Yep. Salt as well, plays for England, but they all want to get involved in the franchises because at the end of the day, that's where the money is, you know. Yeah. And you can't blame them for doing that. But a lot of these guys now have played 100 Test matches. You see, Chris Gale, people forget he played 100 Test matches, so they've earned the right to do that. Whereas I think young players now are going to miss that and just try and go straight into it, maybe. But it's exciting. The game's exciting now.
So, how long are you in Brisbane for? Like,
I'm here till Sunday, and then potentially, I'm waiting there. I'm in Sydney, but I've got to go to we've got to go to Zimbabwe. There's the Zim Afro T10.
Yep.
So I'm a head coach in that. So I've got to fly. They're flying us from here to Harare and Zim for 10 days, and do the tournament, and then we come back to Sydney and then go again. So it's pretty hectic, but it's a good way to live.
So whosoever is looking at this video, make sure to book the sessions until he is here till Saturday.
Yeah, I'm here till Saturday. So yeah.
The link is in the description. So follow that link, book the 1-to-1 session, and be that power hitter like Jake Prism, like Gurk, who can just shine the world. So thank you, Julian, for being here.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
And we will see you in another episode of Sports Chat. So keep subscribing and keep on the Bat Guru.
Power Guru. That's the one.
Instagram. So thank you guys and see you later.
Awesome. Thank you. Cheers, guys.